Swaddy up, friends. Welcome into the One Play Sports Spectrum, which is the home of Toyota Thai League T1 across the ASEAN region, outside of Thailand and through the Indian subcontinent. Hands up if you're happy that the international break is over. I am, because it means we can get back to a full program of T1 matchups, 3 of them coming your way live on the One Play Sports Facebook page and YouTube channel this weekend. We start at the Singer, 6:45 Saturday Singapore time, 5:45 if you're in Jakarta for the defending champs Chiang Rai United up against Ratchaburi, who pulled off a huge win last weekend against Bangkok United. Looking forward to that one. PT Prachuap, led by William Enrique, will be at the Samau against Police Tero. Now, Police Tero, we know all about Malaysia's Dominic Tan, but Mahamadou Sumara is now fit and ready to go, having completed his quarantine. The league leaders, they lead by 5 points. It's BG Pathum at home to Samut Prakan City. There's no Irfan Fandi, though, for the foreseeable future for BG Pathum. They could have a big name coming in as well. We'll tell you about that in a minute. Mongtong United against Trat is our second live Saturday game. Buriram at the Thunder Castle. They are very tough to beat. They're having troubles away from home, though. They'll be looking to get back to a winning thread, having gone down to BG Pathum last week as they entertain Nakhon Ratchasima. True Bangkok United, they were 5-0 at the start of that campaign. Now they're 0-3. They take on Sukhothai, who themselves are unbeaten post-COVID, and Suphanburi Chonburi, followed by the rock bottom Rayong. They've only scored 2 goals all season. They take on Port, who finally gave their new coach Salawat 3 points in their win against Trat by 3-2 post the COVID restart. Right, so as you know, we're all about creating communities here, building up heroes, which means we need you to help us by spreading the word. It's all about LSFC. Like, share, follow and comment. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you will not miss a trick when it comes to all the great sporting action we're bringing you, because now it's not just Toyota Thai League T1. The Singapore Premier League is coming back. We've got the Arabian Gulf action for you, as well as next week the Philippine Football League starting as well. So more football than you can shake a stick at. But I don't know about you, it's clear to me there's a reason why the Toyota Thai League T1 leads the way in the region, and that's because the huge amount of talent outside of Thailand from the ASEAN region that are now applying their trade in T1. And here's a reminder for those of you new to our coverage of where you can find the top ASEAN talent and at what club throughout the course of the season. True Bangkok United, they have the Filipino stop-up Michael Fulksgaard in goal for them. Kevin Agresso's at Buriram. BG Pathum, Alvaro Silva of the Philippines, Noor Sharul of Malaysia, and poor old Irfan Fandi. If you were with us last weekend, you'll know about his injury. I'll give you more news on that very shortly. Chiang Rai United don't have any so far. Chonburi have Kali Demerga. Mongtong United with the Vietnamese keeper Dang Van Lam. If you haven't had a chance yet, do check out our Facebook page for a great feature we did on Dang Van Lam already this week. He's joined by the Filipino-Japanese Daisuke Sato. There's a reason why Nakhon Ratchasima are near the bottom of the table. They haven't got any non-Thai-ASEAN players. Port FC have Martin Stubel. Moving on to PT Prachuap, the Indonesian flag bearer in Thailand. Yanto Basna, what a powerful centre-back he is. They've got the Laotian Sukhophone, the Filipino Ian Ramsey. Rayong have a Laotian of their own in Uthilaf. And we go on to Samut Prakan City with the Singapore stopper Iswan Mabudu sitting there waiting for his chance. Sukhothai have Zor Min Tun. Suphanburi have Patrick Dato and Patrick Rachel of the Philippines. Trat have the Myanmar man Swang Lam Mang, along with the Filipino Amani Alginaldo. Police Tero. Now this is the big news of the week if you're a Malaysian, because Dominic Tan now officially joined by Mahamadou Sumara, who's completed his quarantine. There's been footage of him in training at Police Tero this week. Will he make his debut this weekend? We'll keep you across that news. There are 3 Filipinos at Ratchaburi: Javier Patino, Luke Woodland and Justin Bass. So that is the list of ASEAN talent and where they are playing. Don't forget, 3 live games this weekend. We'll be seeing some ASEAN men in action. But unfortunately, as we bring you our regular update now on the main stories coming out of Toyota Thai League T1 this season, there is some bad news about a Singaporean player we won't be seeing for some time. You may remember Irfan Fandi a tricky fall. It was really an innocuous challenge by Supajai. He fell over and has caused terrible ligament damage to his shoulder. He went under the surgeon's knife on Sunday, and unfortunately the prognosis, I spoke to Irfan last night, is he's going to be missing for 2 to 3 months. That is going to be some blow to BG Pathum, who by far and away have the best defence in Toyota Thai League T1. Some good news for BG Pathum though, and it's huge news in the context of the league, because we're so used to in recent years seeing the best Thai players, more often than not, go to Japan. J1 is now home to some fantastic Thai talent, the likes of Chanatip there, of course. But one of the big names, one of the men that started the trend, Teerasil, who's currently at Shimizu S-Pulse, who is struggling in J1, reports suggest he's coming back to Thailand in January to join the league leaders, BG Pathum. People have been saying for weeks, I've been listening to all the guys on the Thai League Central podcast, they say that all that BG Pathum are missing is a 20-goal striker. Well, the board must have heard them, because Teerasil is bound for Bangkok and BG Pathum in January. That's going to be a huge boost to them. So get well soon, Irfan, from everyone here at One Play Sports, and we are excited to see the return of Teerasil potentially from Japan back to Thailand and BG Pathum to help them push for the title. One other bit of news we should let you know about. You may remember a couple of weeks back we had all that shenanigans with the electric lights failing, the floodlights failing at the PAT for Port in the closing stages of Police Tero. Now, you remember in that game, the disciplinaries committee's decision was to award Police Tero a 2-0 win, which you can understand because that game was in its final seconds, really. I think 88 minutes on the clock. And then just a couple of weeks after that, Port scheduled to take on Mongtong, and the generator that had been brought in to make sure the floodlights work went up in smoke. Now, initially, they were going to award the game to Mongtong United by 2-0, but the disciplinary committee have heard the appeal of Madam Pang and Port, and they've reversed that decision. So that game will now be replayed, and that does have some kind of impact on Port's chances to get into the AFC Champions League, you feel, because it's beginning to get very tough for them. That's the main headline stories of the week so far out of the way. Now, let's remind you of what happened last weekend, because it was an international break where we had a couple of make-up games to get through, and boy did we get through them. These were two absolute belters. Ratchaburi condemning Bangkok United to their third consecutive defeat. For the first time this season, Bangkok are out of the top two. And Philip, rock and roller, with his brace, could nearly add a hat-trick as well. Worse for Bangkok United, Poklor Anon red-carded. He'll be suspended for Bangkok United's game against Sukhothai this weekend. BG Pathum, the bandwagon keeps on rolling and rolling. Andreas Tunes against his former club, coming up with a goal that condemned the Thunder Castles to their third away defeat of the season. And the impact that had on the table was significant at the top, because now it means Ratchaburi leapfrogged through Bangkok United into second. BG Pathum 5 points clear, and remember, the top four in that table after 15 match days qualify for the AFC Champions League. So BG Pathum must feel very confident. But as for the other three AFC Champions League places after 15 games, your guess is as good as mine. Look at that, just 4 points separating second to eighth, and Port, now they have that Mongtong game still to play, do have a game in hand over the teams in front of them. At the bottom, when will Rayong got their first points of the season? Maybe they'll fancy their chances against Port this weekend, while Trap picked up their first points of their campaign just before the international break. And who'd have thunk it? They may have only played 7, but Buriram United and Mongtong United, who for so many years seem to share the league title between them, are now out of the top half and with work to do, but still with plenty of time to turn it round, although at some point it's going to start getting tough for them to qualify for the AFC Champions League. It is without doubt the most competitive Toyota Thai League T1 season in living memory, and we're enjoying it all live on One Play Sports, and you'll be enjoying live on One Play Sports, not one, not 2, but 3 great games this weekend. We start on Saturday at 6:45 Singapore time, 5:45 Jakarta. Singa Chiang Rai United up against Ratchaburi. The defending champs are going to have a tough task taking on a Ratchaburi team who found some decent form. They deserve that 2-1 win against Bangkok United, particularly after they've been pegged back by Suksum just after half-time. Chiang Rai coming off the back of a 1-0 loss against Buriram just before the restart. So that's your Saturday appetizer. As for the main course, well, 9 p.m. Singapore time, 8 p.m. Jakarta, Mongtong United. The Kirins taking on Trat. Muangthong coming off the back of that 2-1 win against Ratchaburi, a chance to see Dang Vang Lam of Vietnam in action in that one. And Trat, they got their first win of the season just before the international break. Really hard-fought win against Suphan Buri. And remember this name, folks, because I think we'll be hearing more of him throughout the course of the season. They've got an Afghanistani superstar in Mustafa Azadoy with the brace to get them the 3 points against Suphan Buri before that international break. So you've seen the starter, you've seen the main course. Who wants a bit of Sunday Toyota Thai League T1 dessert? I know I do, and you'll get some too, because on Sunday we bring you one game, 7 p.m. Singapore time, 6 p.m. Jakarta. Can True Bangkok United get back on a winning thread at the True Stadium against Sukhothai? Now, Sukhothai have got 2 wins and 2 draws post the COVID break. So while Bangkok United coming off the back of 3 consecutive defeats, Sukhothai are yet to be beaten since we restarted after COVID. So there you have it, folks. One Play Sports has got you covered with the Singapore Premier League, Arabian Gulf action, and topping the bill, Toyota Thai League T1. Make sure you keep checking back on the Facebook page. Give us a like, share, follow, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Multi-language commentary in selected regions. We're gearing up for another big weekend of Toyota Thai League T1 action right here on One Play Sports. Come and cop!